Hello everyone, my name is Sophia, and for my midterm, I'm going to talk about how social media can affect body image and self-objectification among adolescents. The scholar that I chose for this project is Jasmine Farduli, and I chose her because of her interests in understanding how social media may impact users' body image, mood, and anxiety. I'm also interested in her research of finding ways to reduce any negative impacts of social media use. So the first study that I'm going to talk about is titled The Mediating Role of Appearance Comparisons in the Relationship Between Media Usage and Self-Objectification in Young Women. In this study, a group of 150 women aged 17 to 25 filled out questionnaires about media usage, appearance comparison tendencies, appearance comparisons to specific target groups on Facebook, and self-objectification. The results showed that Facebook use was positively correlated with self-objectification, which means that the more regularly Facebook was used, the more self-objectification was experienced by these young women. These findings suggest that appearance comparisons can play a large role in self-objectification among women. To understand what these results mean, we should first define self-objectification. This occurs when individuals treat themselves as objects to be viewed and evaluated based upon appearance, and this can have a detrimental effect on someone's body image. One quote that really resonated with me from this article was, quote, "The media's portrayal of women is often highly sexualized, with images of women in subordinate roles, images of males gazing at or touching women, and images containing only parts of women's bodies without showing their faces. By viewing these images of other women being sexually objectified in the media, women may in turn feel objectified themselves." And I included a nice little image here to kind of depict the absurdity of women's sexualization in media. So some key points from Article 1. Self-objectification is associated with higher levels of depression, body dissatisfaction, and disordered eating. Body dissatisfaction is different than self-objectification. It is the extent to which individuals are dissatisfied with their appearance and is evaluative. On the other hand, self-objectification is the degree to which individuals prioritize their observable physical appearance, and it is not evaluative. Therefore, self-objectification can occur within people who are dissatisfied or satisfied with their appearance. Objectification theory proposes that the negative consequences of self-objectification may result from women continually comparing their appearance to an unattainable, culturally thin ideal and coming up short. This study found that Facebook and magazine usage were associated with greater self-objectification. However, the usage of music videos, television, and the internet in general were not associated with greater self-objectification. These findings highlight that media usage in a general sense, is not associated with self-objectification, but rather the specific media types that focus on women's appearance are linked with greater self-objectification. The second study from this author that I'm going to talk about is titled "Protect Me from My Selfie: Examining the Association Between Photo-Based Social Media Behaviors and Self-Reported Eating Disorders in Adolescents." In this study, a group of 4,209 Australian adolescents completed a set of self-reported photo investment and manipulation scales. Additionally, avoidance of posting selfies and investments in other selfies were assessed with self-reported items. Eating disorders were identified by the Eating Disorder Examination Questionnaire. The results showed that the effects of avoidance of posting selfies, photo investment, photo manipulation, and investment in other selfies on the likelihood of meeting criteria for an eating disorder compared to no disorder was significant. These findings suggest that appearance-related social media behaviors may be indicative of eating disorder risk. As body image is a key risk factor in the development of eating disorders, it is important to examine the appearance-related social media behaviors, particularly those related to selfies and risk of eating disorder onset. Another quote that stuck out to me was, quote, "Results showed that greater avoidance of posting selfies, photo investment, photo manipulation, and investment in other selfies were associated with greater odds of meeting criteria for probable eating disorders." Results of this study were consistent with research that suggests photo-based social media behaviors are related to maladaptive eating attitudes and behaviors, and that this relationship is mainly consistent across male and female users. The hypothesis that photo-based behaviors would be associated with greater odds of eating disorder diagnosis was largely supported. All behaviors, avoidance of posting selfies, photo investment, photo manipulation, investment in other selfies, increase the odds for meeting a diagnostic criteria for most eating disorders. Their findings are consistent with research that suggests despite female adolescents' social media use being greater than male adolescents, the relationship between social media variables and body image concerns are consistent across both male and female users. So a little bit about my scholar. Jasmine is a research fellow working at the Center for Emotional Health in the Department of Psychology. While achieving her PhD in psychology, she spent 6 months working at the Center for Appearance Research at the University of West England. She's the primary lead on the Social Media Project, which is a longitudinal school-based project examining links between social media use and mental health. Her research focuses on social influences on young people's mental health and physical health, and she's particularly interested in understanding how social media use may impact users' body image, mood, and anxiety. She's also interested in conducting research to find ways to reduce any negative impacts of social media use. She also supervises a number of honors, masters of research, masters of clinical psychology, and PhD students on topics related to body image, mental health, weight stigma, and social media. So how does her work connect to the digital? Her research focuses on impacts of social media use, specifically the negative impacts it can have on adolescents' body image. The digital is how we access platforms to use social media to access this type of content on a regular basis. She researches how the digital and the media idolize images of attractive women on social media and how that can have a negative impact on women's body image and mood. So some questions I have for Jasmine are, how can we responsibly use social media without increasing risk of developing long-term body image issues or an eating disorder? Which platforms are most harmful towards the body image, and how can we change how we use these platforms to be less harmful? What can we do on a societal level to reduce self-objectification across social media platforms? These are my works cited page. I encourage you to check them out. These studies were really interesting and had a lot of really good information that I didn't get to cover in this presentation. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this voice thread or reach out to my email, which is listed below. Have a great day.